Yeah, my last name's a good one. Gets mispronounced all the time. People feel so bad when they mispronounce your name, too. And I just say, look, man, people that mispronounce my name, you know, you're like guys that have slept with Madonna. You're not the first. You won't be the last. So this is my second time here, so I don't know if that makes me a comic virgin or a virgin comic. I'm not sure which adjective I prefer, which noun, so I'm going to have to think about that. I'm in sales, honorable profession, printing sales, as a matter of fact. Sales is probably the only time when white guys lie to themselves, except when they're playing golf. Joe, you're going to have a good month this month? Oh, man, I am kicking it. Translation, I couldn't sell Girl Scout cookies to people walking out of a marijuana clinic. And printing sales, I'm not concerned with the copy. I'm concerned with how pretty the pictures look, you know. I'm going to make them look real good for you guys. So despite the lie that other guys say, if you hand me a Playboy magazine, I'm going to open it up, but not to read the articles. So what about this presidential election, huh? Is this a doozy? I was wondering, could I go to my local election board and trade my vote in for like a really bad case of shingles or poison ivy? Because I'm thinking that's going to be a lot more pleasant than this next 4 months. I mean, 300 million people out there, and it's like we got Rosie O'Donnell running against Dick Vitale. Rosie, what do you think of your opponent? Dick, what do you think about your chances? Hey, baby, we're going to Washington, going for the W, going to make America great again. I don't know. The election reminds me of something I went through recently, and it took me a while to put my finger on it, but it was my recent colonoscopy. You 40-somethings out there in the audience, good times ahead. But think about it. In both instances, you don't look forward to it. You know they're necessary. In both cases, they're probably going to stick it to you in the end. And I'm sorry, pardon my French, but in both cases, you're dealing with buttholes. So I go in for my pre-checkup, which, like, I know what's going to happen. We really don't have to go through this. And I'm sitting with this slightly sadistic receptionist named Naomi. I couldn't put my finger on it. Well, Mr. Ernstus, your paperwork's in order here. Now then, we just need to get you in. You could come in next Monday the 2nd. That is, if you have an opening in your schedule. I had to get out of there. If I was going to be the butt of one more joke, if that lady made one more crack. So it went well, thankfully, but I don't know if there's the anesthesia or what, but when I was walking out, I noticed the list of the doctors' names there, and I thought, that can't be right, because I saw Dr. Julia Childs. I thought, maybe that's a coincidence. I mean, the real Julia Childs, she's like dead, right? But wouldn't that be an experience, to have her walk in the room? First of all, we're going to grab the buttocks, open the cavity, and then liberally apply some canola oil to the probe. Then we're going to run the probe up through there until my elbow disappears. I'm glad I chose the Indian doctor. So that went okay. So walking out, I saw an LGBT sign, and I guess right now, if somebody from transgender introduces themselves to you, they're supposed to drop a couple pronouns so you know, like, which way they're going or something like that. But I thought that might be helpful because, like, if you're in line for this restroom, it's a one-holer, and they introduce themselves and they say, hi, my name's Pat, she and her, then I'll know to leave the seat down when I come out. That'll be helpful. I mean, I want to be politically correct and all, although I grew up last century when political correctness really wasn't a thing. But the cool thing was you only insulted people you knew and liked. I mean, it's like the whole world was from Philadelphia. So I might say to my buddy, man, your sister has got the biggest front teeth. With those buck teeth, she could eat an ear of corn through a picket fence. And, you know, that wasn't true. I mean, she couldn't. Well, maybe a small ear of corn she could. Of course, he would retort with something equally nasty like, well, Joe, you know what? When you were little, you were so ugly, your mom had to tie a pork chop around your neck just so the dog would play with you. And that wasn't true. I was a great-looking kid. But you know, it is kind of odd. Whenever my wife cooks pork chops, I have this strange rash appear around my neck. That's it for me, guys. Thank you very much.
Joe Ernstees, everyone. Joe Ernstees. All right.